Life is complex. Success is multifaceted, but there is indeed one fundamental thing that, if not addressed, can sabotage all your other efforts. So what is this one thing? It's your mindset. Specifically, it's a fixed mindset as opposed to a growth mindset. This, my friends, is the silent killer of dreams, the invisible barrier between you and the success you desire. Now, let's break this down. What do I mean by a fixed mindset? A fixed mindset is the belief that your qualities are carved in stone. That your intelligence, your talents, your abilities are fixed traits. People with a fixed mindset believe that you either have it or you don't. They think success is about proving you're smart or talented, not about developing yourself. On the other hand, a growth mindset is based on the belief that your basic qualities are things you can cultivate through your efforts. Sure, people may differ in their initial talents and aptitudes, interests, or temperaments, but everyone can change and grow through application and experience. This distinction might seem small, but it's profound. It creates two different worlds. In one world, the world of fixed traits, success is about proving you're smart or talented, validating yourself. In the other, the world of changing qualities, it's about stretching yourself to learn something new, developing yourself. Let me give you an example. Imagine two students who get a poor grade on a test. The student with a fixed mindset might think, I'm just not good at this subject. I'll never get it. This thought leads to discouragement, which leads to less effort, which leads to poorer performance, which reinforces the original belief. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, the student with a growth mindset might think, I need to study harder next time or try a different study method. This leads to increased effort, which leads to improved performance, which reinforces the belief in growth and learning. Do you see the difference? This mindset doesn't just affect students. It affects all of us in every area of our lives. Whether it's in our careers, our relationships, our health, or our personal development, our mindset shapes our behavior, which shapes our outcomes. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Jim, I've tried to change my mindset before. It's not that easy. And you're absolutely right. It's not easy. But let me tell you something, nothing worth having comes easy. The question isn't whether it's easy. The question is whether it's worth it. And I'm here to tell you it absolutely is. Changing your mindset is like working out a muscle. It takes consistent effort over time. You don't go to the gym once and expect to be in shape for life. Similarly, you can't just decide to have a growth mindset once and expect it to stick. It's a daily practice, a choice you make in each moment with each challenge you face. So how do we begin to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset? The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to your self-talk. When you face a challenge, what's your inner dialogue? Are you telling yourself, I can't do this? Or are you asking, how can I learn to do this? Once you're aware of your fixed mindset thoughts, the next step is to challenge them. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good at this, add the word yet to the end of that sentence. I'm not good at this yet. This simple addition opens up the possibility of growth and improvement. But it's not just about changing your thoughts. It's about changing your actions too. Embrace challenges instead of avoiding them. See effort as the path to mastery, not as something to be avoided. Learn from criticism instead of ignoring it. Find lessons and inspiration in the success of others instead of feeling threatened. Now, let's talk about failure. In a fixed mindset, failure is seen as evidence of lack of ability. It's devastating because it means you're not smart or talented. But in a growth mindset, failure is seen as an opportunity to learn and grow. It's not that failure feels good, it doesn't. But it doesn't define you. It's a problem to be faced, dealt with, and learned from. Think about some of the most successful people in history. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. But he famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the growth mindset in action. Or consider J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Rowling faced numerous rejections. But she didn't let these rejections define her. She saw them as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. That's the power of a growth mindset. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Jim, isn't talent important? Don't some people just have natural abilities that others don't? And you're right to ask that. Talent does matter, but here's the thing, talent is just the starting point. It's what you do with that talent that counts. In fact, an overemphasis on talent can actually be detrimental. If you believe that success is all about talent, you might shy away from challenges, fearing that failure will reveal your limitations. You might give up easily, believing that if you were really talented, things would come easily. You might feel threatened by the success of others, seeing it as a reminder of your own inadequacies. But when you have a growth mindset, talent is just the beginning. You see challenges as opportunities to stretch your abilities. You embrace effort as the path to mastery. You find inspiration in the success of others, knowing that if they can do it, so can you with enough effort and learning. Let's talk about effort for a moment. In a fixed mindset, effort is seen as a bad thing. If you have to work hard at something, it must mean you're not good at it. But in a growth mindset, effort is what makes you smart or talented. No matter what your ability is, effort is what ignites that ability and turns it into accomplishment. This doesn't mean that everything is possible. It doesn't mean that anyone with proper motivation or education can become Einstein or Beethoven. But it does mean that a person's true potential is unknown and unknowable. It's impossible to foresee what can be accomplished with years of passion, toil, and training. Now let's bring this back to you and your success. What areas of your life have been affected by a fixed mindset? Maybe you've avoided taking on new challenges at work because you're afraid of failing. Maybe you've held back from pursuing a dream because you don't think you have what it takes. Maybe you've given up on a goal because progress was slower than you expected. I want you to take a moment right now and think about one area of your life where you've been held back by a fixed mindset. Got it? Good. Now I want you to imagine how that area of your life could change if you approached it with a growth mindset. If instead of thinking I can't, you started thinking how can I? If instead of seeing challenges as threats, you saw them as opportunities to learn and grow. This shift in mindset can be truly transformative. It can turn obstacles into opportunities. It can turn failures into stepping stones. It can turn your limitations into your starting points. But remember, this isn't about positive thinking. It's not about pretending that everything is great or that you're already good at everything. It's about honestly assessing where you are and then believing in your capacity to grow from there. It's about seeing your current abilities as a starting point, not an end point. Now, let's talk about how to practically apply this growth mindset in your daily life. First, set learning goals instead of performance goals. Instead of focusing on proving yourself, focus on improving yourself. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this in every situation, especially the challenging ones? Second, celebrate effort, not just results. When you or others succeed, don't just praise the outcome. Acknowledge the effort, the strategies, the perseverance that led to that success. This reinforces the idea that effort is the path to mastery. Third, embrace challenges. Seek them out. When you find yourself shying away from a challenge, that's a signal to step forward, not back. Remember, that uncomfortable feeling of struggle is the feeling of your brain growing new connections, strengthening itself, becoming smarter. Fourth, reframe failure. When you fail, don't label yourself a failure. You haven't failed, you've learned. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? This turns every failure into a valuable learning experience. Fifth, cultivate grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for long-term goals. It's the ability to persist in the face of setbacks, to continue striving towards your goals even when progress is slow or difficult. Grit is a key component of the growth mindset, and it's a powerful predictor of success. Now, I want to address something important. Developing a growth mindset doesn't mean ignoring your limitations or weaknesses. It's not about pretending you can do anything if you just try hard enough. It's about acknowledging your current limitations while believing in your capacity to grow beyond them. It's also not about being in a constant state of improvement or never being satisfied with who you are. It's about knowing that you can develop your abilities and that you don't have to be perfect to start. Let's talk about how this growth mindset applies to different areas of your life. In your career, a growth mindset can be the difference between stagnation and advancement. With a fixed mindset, you might avoid new responsibilities or challenges, fearing that you'll fail and expose your inadequacies. But with a growth mindset, you see these as opportunities to learn and develop new skills. In your relationships, a growth mindset can lead to deeper, more fulfilling connections. Instead of seeing conflicts as signs of incompatibility, you see them as opportunities to understand each other better and grow together. You're not focused on proving you're right, but on learning and improving. In your personal development, a growth mindset is absolutely crucial. It's what allows you to believe that you can change, that you can become better, that you're not limited by who you are today. It's what motivates you to read that book, take that course, try that new habit, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. In your health and fitness, a growth mindset can be the difference between giving up and persevering. Instead of seeing a plateau in your progress as a sign that you've reached your limit, you see it as a challenge to try new strategies, to push a little harder, to learn more about nutrition or exercise science. Now, I want to address a common misconception. Some people think that having a growth mindset means you should never feel bad about yourself or your abilities. That's not true. It's normal and natural to feel frustrated, discouraged, or upset when you face setbacks or challenges. The difference is in how you respond to these feelings. With a fixed mindset, these negative feelings might lead you to give up or avoid similar challenges in the future. But with a growth mindset, you acknowledge these feelings, but you don't let them define you or determine your actions. You use them as motivation to work harder, to try new strategies, to seek help or guidance. Let's talk about the role of effort in success. In a fixed mindset, effort is seen as a sign of weakness or lack of talent. If you have to work hard at something, it must mean you're not naturally good at it. But in a growth mindset, effort is seen as the path to mastery. It's what turns your potential into reality. Think about it this way: your abilities are like muscles. They can be strengthened with use and practice. The more you challenge them, the stronger they become. But if you never push yourself, if you only do what comes easily, your abilities will never grow. This is why it's so important to embrace challenges and persist in the face of setbacks. It's not about proving how smart or talented you are. It's about becoming smarter, more talented, more capable than you were before. Now, let's address the fear of failure. This fear is one of the biggest obstacles to success, and it's closely tied to a fixed mindset. If you believe that your abilities are fixed, then failure feels catastrophic. It feels like a judgment on who you are as a person. But when you have a growth mindset, failure loses its power over you. It's no longer a judgment, it's information. It's feedback that tells you what didn't work, so you can adjust your approach and try again. It's a natural part of the learning process, not a sign that you should give up. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall down hundreds of times, but they don't think, well, I guess walking isn't for me. They don't worry about looking foolish. They just keep trying, adjusting their balance, strengthening their muscles until they can walk. That's the essence of a growth mindset. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Jim, I've had a fixed mindset for years. Can I really change? And the answer is a resounding yes. Remember, the very belief that you can change your mindset is itself a growth mindset belief. The fact that you're here listening to this shows that you believe in your capacity for growth and change. Changing your mindset isn't easy or quick. It's a process, and it takes time and effort. But it is possible, and the benefits are enormous. Every time you choose to see a challenge as an opportunity, every time you persist in the face of a setback, every time you put an effort to learn and grow, you're strengthening your growth mindset. Let's talk about the role of environment in developing a growth mindset. The people you surround yourself with, the books you read, the media you consume, all of these influence your mindset. If you're constantly around people who shy away from challenges, who see failure as shameful, who believe that talent is everything, it's going to be much harder to maintain a growth mindset. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who embrace challenges, who see failure as a learning opportunity, who believe in the power of effort and growth, it becomes much easier to cultivate and maintain a growth mindset. So choose your environment wisely. Seek out people and resources that support and reinforce a growth mindset. Now, let's address how a growth mindset can impact your leadership abilities. Whether you're leading a company, a team, or just yourself, your mindset has a profound impact on your effectiveness as a leader. Leaders with a fixed mindset tend to be more judgmental. They're quick to label people as talented or not talented, and they often create an environment where people are afraid to take risks or make mistakes. This stifles innovation and growth. On the other hand, leaders with a growth mindset focus on developing people's abilities. They create an environment where people feel safe to take risks, make mistakes, and learn. They give feedback that focuses on effort and strategy, not just results. They inspire people to stretch themselves and reach their full potential. Think about the kind of leader you want to be. Think about the kind of environment you want to create, whether it's in your workplace, your home, or your community. A growth mindset can help you become that leader and create that environment. Let's talk about the connection between a growth mindset and resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to persist in the face of challenges. And it's closely tied to having a growth mindset. When you have a fixed mindset, setbacks feel permanent. They feel like a judgment on your abilities, your worth. But when you have a growth mindset, setbacks are temporary. They're not a reflection of who you are, but of where you are in your journey of growth and learning. This resilience is crucial for long-term success, because the truth is, you will face setbacks. You will encounter obstacles. You will experience failures. That's just part of life, part of any worthwhile endeavor. The question isn't whether you'll face these challenges, but how you'll respond to them. With a growth mindset, you respond to challenges with persistence and creativity. You don't give up at the first sign of difficulty. You don't crumble in the face of criticism. You see these as opportunities to learn, to grow, to become better. Now, let's address how a growth mindset can impact your relationships. Whether it's in your personal or professional life, your mindset plays a huge role in the quality of your relationships. In a fixed mindset, relationships can become competitive. You're always trying to prove yourself, to show that you're smart enough, talented enough, good enough. This can lead to defensiveness, to difficulty in admitting mistakes or accepting feedback. But with a growth mindset, relationships become opportunities for mutual growth and learning. You're not trying to prove that you're better than others. You're trying to become better than you were before. You're open to feedback because you see it as helpful information, not as a judgment on your worth. This doesn't mean that growth mindset relationships are always easy or conflict-free. But it does mean that conflicts and challenges are seen as opportunities to understand each other better, to grow together, to strengthen the relationship. Let's talk about the role of praise in developing a growth mindset. The way we praise ourselves and others can have a big impact on mindset. Praise that focuses on innate qualities like intelligence or talent can actually reinforce a fixed mindset. It sends the message that these qualities are fixed traits that you either have or you don't. Instead, praise effort, strategy, progress, and perseverance. When you succeed, don't just say, "I'm so smart." Say, "I worked really hard on this," or "the strategy I used was effective." This kind of praise reinforces the idea that success comes from effort and learning, not just innate talent. The same goes for how you praise others, especially children. Instead of saying "you're so smart," say "you worked really hard on that," or "I can see you're using new strategies you learned." This helps to cultivate a growth mindset in others as well. Now let's talk about the role of curiosity in a growth mindset. Curiosity is the desire to learn, to understand, to explore. And it's a key component of a growth mindset. When you're curious, you're naturally more open to new experiences, more willing to take on challenges, more interested in learning and growing. Cultivate your curiosity. Ask questions. Explore new ideas. Try new things. Don't be afraid to say, "I don't know." Instead, see it as an exciting opportunity to learn something new. This curiosity will fuel your growth and make the journey of learning and improvement more enjoyable. Let's address the impact of a growth mindset on your creativity. In a fixed mindset, creativity can be stifled by the fear of failure or the belief that creativity is an innate talent that you either have or don't have. But in a growth mindset, creativity is seen as a skill that can be developed and improved over time. With a growth mindset, you're more willing to take creative risks, to try new approaches, to learn from your creative failures. You understand that creativity, like any skill, improves with practice and effort. This mindset can unlock your creative potential and lead to innovative ideas and solutions. Now, let's talk about the connection between a growth mindset and goal setting. When you have a growth mindset, you set different kinds of goals. Instead of just focusing on performance goals, like getting a certain grade or achieving a certain sales target, you also set learning goals. Learning goals focus on what you want to learn or improve, not just what you want to achieve. For example, instead of just setting a goal to get a promotion, you might set a goal to develop specific skills that will make you more effective in a higher level role. This approach keeps you focused on growth and improvement, not just end results. Let's address how a growth mindset can help you navigate change and uncertainty. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to adapt and learn new skills is more important than ever. A growth mindset gives you the tools to thrive in this environment. When you have a growth mindset, change isn't threatening, it's an opportunity to learn and grow. You're more willing to step out of your comfort zone to take on new challenges, to learn new skills. This adaptability is a crucial skill in today's world, both personally and professionally. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to emphasize something important. Developing a growth mindset isn't a one-time event. It's not something you achieve and then you're done. It's an ongoing process, a lifelong journey of learning and growth. There will be times when you slip back into a fixed mindset. That's normal. The key is to recognize when this happens and consciously choose to shift back to a growth mindset. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to choose growth over fixed thinking. So what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue to let a fixed mindset hold you back from success? Or will you embrace a growth mindset and unlock your full potential? The choice is yours, but I urge you, don't let this opportunity pass you by. Don't reach the end of your life wishing you had believed more in your capacity to grow and change. Make the decision now to cultivate a growth mindset. Make the decision now to embrace challenges, to persist in the face of setbacks, to see effort as the path to mastery. Remember, the one thing holding you back from success is your mindset. But the beautiful thing is, your mindset is within your control. You have the power to change it, to cultivate it, to use it as a tool for success and fulfillment. So go forth from here with a new understanding of the power of your mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. See effort as the path to improvement. Learn from criticism instead of avoiding it. Find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. And most importantly, believe in your ability to learn and grow. Because when you do, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You unlock your potential for success in every area of your life. Thank you for your time and attention. Now go out there and cultivate that growth mindset. Your future self will thank you for it. The best is yet to come, and it all starts with your mindset. Thank you.